Just record. Well, good morning, ladies. Welcome back to our call today. I see a couple of faces that was on the funnels call just now. Welcome back. So there wasn't any questions posted in the group, so there's nothing specifically that I need to answer anyone. So I just want to quickly just give an overview again. I think I do understand that there's a lot of content, and that is the reality. With any, with anything new that we learn, there's always going to be a lot of content. I mean, just think of yourself if you go and do a course or, at the Technikon or a college or university or whatever it may be. This is no different from actually going and doing a proper big course or, something like that. And we are talking here now about a 12-month program. Often these programs are 2 years, 3 years. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I just want you to take a deep breath, think about everything, and just go step by step through the training, especially the Kickstart Your Course Creation training, because that is basically the foundation of everything else that we're going to do. And it doesn't matter whether you're writing an ebook or whether you're creating a course or a membership or whatever digital product you're going to do. Kickstart Your Course Creation is basically this. It's the same principles that we've put in there that we're going to use for all the others. And I don't want you to start thinking, oh my word, I'm behind, or I'm not going fast enough or anything. Remember, this is self-paced, and you've got to just work through everything at your speed. Some people are really clued up on their social media. Other people are really clued up on their techie stuff. Other people have been doing what they're doing for years and years and years. And we cannot compare ourselves to where other people are in the group, because we're all on our own journey. And I think I just really want to stress that I want you to don't ever feel that you're behind or that you're not going fast enough, because you are here to go on your journey. And all we want to do is just start with one thing, okay? Start with one idea that you want to get clarity on. This is what I want to do. Test that idea out into public before you start creating it. And once you've got some validation that, yes, there's a demand for it, then you say, right, what am I going to do? Am I going to create an ebook? Am I going to create a course? What is it that I want to, or a workshop? What is it that I want to create? And just take it step by step, because even just sometimes just to, set up those funnels, do all the techie stuff, that could be, I mean, if you decide, right, this week, all I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my registration page. Like, this is where people are going to land. This is the registration page where they put their name and email address in. This is the thank you page, and then the email nurture after that. Like, if that is all you work on, then I just want you to decide, this is what I'm going to do this week, and then tick that box off. And if it takes you 2 weeks, that's also fine. It's not the end of the world. So I just want you to not get overwhelmed, not look at what everybody else is doing, and just stay focused on what you need to do. Babe, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think the important thing is, because most of you are multi-talented, multi-skilled, have got different life experiences, and you could go in one of any directions, is just to remember that the idea you choose is not to say that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. It's just like we mentioned last week, is, you really maybe want to go into the metaphysical world or whatever, but you're really good as a weight loss coach or strength conditioning coach. And that's the low-hanging fruit for you right now. You might already have an audience for the weight loss fitness type environment. Just run with that in the beginning, just to set your funnel up. Like I say, it's not something that you want to do long-term, but it's something where you can have some easy, quick wins, because you've already built up an audience. People already know you for that sort of thing. Because once you understand the flow of the funnel, then it's quite easy to duplicate that for anything else. But just to go through the process is just to be clear on my one idea. I'm going to teach women over 40 how to run the next marathon based around strength training, for example, if you were Lauren, or Leonie for addicts, if that's the way you want to go. Just start to think, what is that person going through right now? What are their pain points or their desire points, and just get very, very clear on that, because there's 5 or 6 or 10 desire points, and we're not going to inundate people with all 10. We're going to take it from one angle and use that angle and see what sort of reaction we get. And then, early in the funnel school, we were talking to Marissa. So Marissa does interior design specifically for children. So she could be going from how to design a nursery, or is it for teenagers, how to maximize space, or is it something that's more practical and functional because the rooms are small? Everybody's got a slightly different pain point. And the thing is, you're not going to know until you press the button. You've got to trigger the pain point in people. Like, I might look at something around strength training and it doesn't tickle me, and it doesn't tickle me, it doesn't tickle me. And then somebody chooses a different angle and it's like, oh, that's me. Even though it's leading to the same outcome, but maybe it was the time factor. Maybe it's because I'm a busy entrepreneur, whatever. I'm traveling a lot. And somebody said, do you find that it's difficult to get to the gym while you're traveling? Or do you find it's difficult to make healthy foods while you're traveling? And that's the thing that triggers me into, looking closer to your lead magnet, following you, buying your product. But I think the key thing is, don't get hung up on, but I really, really want to teach them how to cook. So that's what I'm going to go. But when you're really, really good at the weight loss thing, just run with the weight loss thing for now, for the next month or 2 weeks or 6 weeks, or whatever it is. But then on the sideline, in parallel, you can start creating your lead magnet for that real thing that you want to do in the long term. But like Maren said, it's the overwhelm that gets to a lot of people. When people are overwhelmed, you end up doing nothing. So just decide on one thing this week and just implement that one thing. Put it in the group. Doesn't matter if it's right, wrong, ugly, good, bad, colorful. Just put it in there. Just get everybody's feedback. And because you're going to learn from it and say, oh, okay. So it's a good idea to have my email address right at the end of the lead magnet, just in case this thing's floating around cyberspace and somebody sees it. At least there's a contact detail. Even if you just learned that one thing, or maybe it's somebody's headline. And like I said in one of the calls, I think it was last week, was be a little bit curious. So if Leonie's, for example, posting her niche and her stuff around addicts, just go and have a look at the feedback we're giving her, because you might look at that and say, oh, okay, so that's what he's doing. He's actually just pressing one pain point. He's not saying, do you want to lose 5 kgs and you're stressed and you're tired and you're mentally exhausted and your husband this and no. He just triggered one thing. Are you a busy entrepreneur and you don't have time to go to the gym? And when you see the flow of how we answer certain people, you can use that exact same thing for yourself. That's all I have, Doc.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so has anyone got a specific question that they want to ask us that's on the call? Yes, Leonie.
Okay, hi guys. Okay, so I experienced rejection since Friday, but thanks with the help of you guys, I've got some new ideas. So obviously what I've realized, and which was my concern in the beginning, is that my presence currently on social media has got nothing to do with what I'm doing now. And people would ask me, but why is it that I'm moving away from the business environment? And reason being is that I want to start with what Stephen just said, one thing, one pain point, and take it from there. So I've realized that I can't use the Coach de Koning platform because of the history there. And it's not history that I would necessarily want to change because that is, still part of my income stream. So I've come to the realization that I'd need to create a new Facebook page separate from Coach de Koning, but it's still linked to Coach de Koning, because essentially I would like it as one of the Coach de Koning pillars, that it blends into that, and ultimately eventually blends into the business environment, where I would focus on employee wellness and dealing with addicts and all that. My question is that do I then, if I create my new image, and I'm going to do the whole rebranding thing that's in the SOS modules around the Coach de Koning. So I still need to find a name for that pillar, whether it's going to be Coach de Koning Wellness, Coach de Koning Support, but I'll still find a name for that pillar, and do the rebranding and stuff. Can I start what Stephen also just said, putting out stuff there before I do the validation post for the workshop? So start getting my name out there in terms of asking those questions and struggling with your relationship with alcohol. How desperate are you for that drink after work, and start creating the interest there before I do the next validation post.
Okay, I want to go back to what you said in the beginning now about your Coach de Koning umbrella. I want you to think, and I mean, I'm just talking, I'm saying this, just listening to what you're saying, that eventually you want to bring it back into the Coach de Koning as part of like a health and whatever. I want you to think of my business. So I'm under the Maren Barnard umbrella. But under the Maren Barnard umbrella, I've got SOS, I've got funnels and webinars, and I've got the lab. And I'm probably doing a whole bunch of other things that are little things that I also sell there. That's not necessarily like marketed hugely.
Yeah.
So what maybe instead of starting another page, another business page, rather look at it as Coach de Koning is your umbrella company, and this is just one section under that you're doing. So if someone says to you, oh, why are you doing this now? Then you say, no, I'm just expanding. Okay. Because you don't, I just know from experience that trying to run too many different pages and too many different groups and it's work. It's like a lot of work. So what I tend to do on my social media is I tend to, we kind of do like general posting about all the business stuff that we do. But then when I come into, say, like the Digital Product Lab, and I'm going to do a launch on that specific, you'll see that the weeks leading up to that, we talk a lot about digital products and ebooks and courses and why you should have it online. Whatever. We're kind of just focusing a little bit more of our content than on that subject because we're leading into a launch for that. So I think that's a better way of doing it, is to have your umbrella and then have specific sections underneath it. I think I've lost her.
I think she's still there.
Leonie, can you hear me? Oh, yeah, there. Okay.
I think I had a moment, a frozen moment.
I think, I saw that frozen moment. It felt funny talking to you. Okay, so, so I think rather do it under the same umbrella, keep it under your Coach de Koning. It's just the expansion. It's just another thing that you do under that umbrella. And yes, I would definitely start putting, a great lead magnet would be something to do with, what the trigger points that picks up that drink, or why is it that you have that drink, or et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I'm not a drinker, so I wouldn't really know, but you would know your ideal customer, and find, what is it that makes that do, and do something that people, they kind of know that they shouldn't be doing it and that they should be fixing it. But again, I know addiction, I'm an ex-smoker, so I know the whole addiction thing. It's hard to stop it when you don't want to stop it. So think of things that you can, like a lead magnet that you can put out there that will help person. So I would not create another page. I would rather just be it an expansion of what you are doing right now. Now I've forgotten what was your last question that you asked me.
Can I jump in here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got three things I just want to address here. The first one is, so you in an environment that's a sensitive topic. So there's a couple of ladies in here that are dealing with sensitive subjects. So don't expect people to comment on your actual post. So instead of you finishing your lead magnet or your post with comment weight loss beneath for your freebie, because no one's going to do that. If I was an addict, smoker, drugs, whatever addict, there's no ways I'm publicly going to comment below, because then my friends, family, everybody's going to say, oh, I didn't realize he was an addict.
Or even
so your
if you've got
last
problems
line
in
will,
your marriage, like anything like that.
So any sensitive subject, I'd rather be putting, please message me privately in confidence for your free download. or something like, or WhatsApp me at this number for your free download, because then nobody knows. So you've got to be very subtle, especially around the sensitive stuff. So that's the first point. The second thing I want to say is, and I forget who it is, the artist, what's her name? Is it Marianne, I think? So
Yeah,
she
Marianne.
has already got a following, right?
Mm.
And she's doing exactly what she's been doing for years and years. So for her to make her post, and she gets a lot of interaction. You got to understand, if I was starting fresh today with something new, it's going to take time to build up an audience. So there's no ways I'm going to post my lead magnet today and I'm going to expect to get inundated. It's going to take time to people to realize that you know what you're talking about, to start to follow you, start to trust you, and all that sort of stuff. So just remember the time factor. If you're starting from zero, it's going to take a little bit of time to get the traction. So then that leads me on to my third point. You started off by saying you experienced your first bit of rejection last week.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. What was the rejection? What happened?
Well, the rejection was just no response.
Okay. So that's, okay, you can call that rejection if you want. I just
My son and my
testing the
stepdaughter
market.
were the only two that liked the post. But then I got lots of WhatsApp afterwards and says, Diana, I didn't know that you went to rehab. I said, who said I went to rehab? So there's already all those assumptions, which is fine. I don't have an issue with exposing personal stuff that involves me, because I know that it's going to be to my advantage. So I basically just said that tongue in cheek. And you know, I've dealt with it, and I've worked with it, and I've picked up what I did wrong, and you know, obviously looking at a new approach in terms of like the rebranding. So it's just like what Maureen said in the beginning, is it's a lot of stuff to work through. And I must admit, I did take shortcuts. I didn't work through all the modules. So this week I've dedicated in going through all the modules in SOS, and step for step going what I teach my students to.
Oops.
And she's frozen there again.
Yeah.
Must be cold wherever you are. We'll just wait for her to get back. Okay, well, I'm just going to carry on.
Oh,
Oh, there, Leonie, you're back with us again.
Oh, did I lose you guys?
You were frozen there for a second. That's all right. We get the gist of it. No, why I'm asking about the rejection thing is, you ladies must learn to be kind to yourselves, because rejection is quite a powerful word. And if you allow that to go into your mind, that you've been rejected, it's quite difficult then to take the next step and say, well, I'm going to do that again, because it's like, nobody likes rejection. Instead of just rejection, you made a post. This is new to your audience. This is new to people. You didn't get rejected. It was just, nobody knows Leonie yet. Nobody knows Leonie's heading in this new direction. So rather think of it like that. Okay, that was a good learning curve. I posted on a Friday afternoon at 2:00. Probably not the best time to be making that post anyway, because people are just about to pick up a drink in their hands, and the last thing they want to hear about is, how am I going to stop drinking? So maybe a Sunday night is maybe a better time to make that type of post, because now the person's been drinking all weekend. They're sitting there, they're feeling like beep, 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 beep. Monday morning, they've got to go head into the office. So maybe Sunday night, where your type of post is a much more powerful time. So it's nothing to do with rejection in terms of that. So be kind on yourself and just say, no, it was a learning. I've got a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. Fixed mindset, you take that personally and say, oh, look, this is rejection and all that other stuff. I don't think people understand the power of words and how powerful you can harm yourself. Just those little things, you know, when you start talking to yourself like that, it's like, jeepers, I'm no good. People are right. I should never have done it. Who am I to think? You see, I am too old. Why am I going in a new direction? If I go this direction, I'm going to lose this next contract. And your mind starts playing all these games with you. And then what's going to happen is you're going to default to the path of least resistance. We all are. Because, I mean, why do you want rejection? Nobody wants rejection. So what are you going to do? You're going to go down the path of, you know what, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should just, and this is what we do. So sorry, I'm just going off on a tangent here on the mindset stuff, but it's just so important that
It
you
is so important.
touch the way you speak to yourself and what you're saying to yourself, because you'll manifest that sort of stuff. If you think that was rejection, imagine you post the post again tomorrow and you don't get any response again. What are you going to say to yourself? Oh, you see, this is reinforcing. I shouldn't be doing this stuff. I should just be hanging around waiting for the next contract. So
Thanks.
So learning curve.
It is. And ladies, I must just tell you, you don't understand how much stuff I had to put out there to just start getting some people that started following me and build up my audience, etc. So remember 2.5 years ago, I was in exactly the same boat as where you are all, because I had not one single email address from South Africa. So it is just being consistent. And then sometimes you find that you've created a lead magnet and it's just not as powerful as what you thought it might be. And that's why I think don't be attached to certain things. Change it up. I mean, I've got stuff that's like a one-page mantra, which is a mindset thing, which has really got nothing to do with business, but the ladies love it. So, and if you're in business, like I think the title was something like the mantra for entrepreneurial women. So I'm still attracting the right woman, but it's just a mantra. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to teach them anything in business. They love it. Like, or goal setting, or like, just think of all the different things or different aspects that you can do. For anyone that's in the area where you can have affirmation cards, like seriously, 30 affirmation cards for a month. It's a brilliant download. It is such a good download to give someone 30 affirmations. That could be how to stop drinking or smoking or whatever. It could be a relationship one, how to deal with money or overcome your money things. It can actually cover so many. It could be health, like 30 affirmations on, and whatever it is that you do, brilliant download. And all you do is you go to Canva, make like a social media, Facebook post, you know, your Instagram post or whatever. That's the template you'll use. You create you put in your 30 affirmations, you download it as a PDF, and that's what you give people. Like, it could be such a basic thing that can be your lead magnet just to start drawing people in. And I can tell you, I mean, obviously there's, on the one side, there's the stuff that will really help you. Like, I love it when I download something, like if someone says to me, for instance, 7 ways to make your Facebook ads. I'm on Facebook ads at the moment. So 7 ways to get your Facebook ads to working. Of course, I'm going to download that. But then the easy one is like the affirmation. So you've got both sides. You don't have to do just one. You can do all of them. And especially for those ladies that has got sensitive subjects, just remember when I say comment in the comments below if you want it, that's more like when I'm in a Facebook group, okay? Because in a Facebook group, I want my post to, you know, be seen over and over. I want the algorithm to show it to more people within that Facebook group. But if I was posting that on my personal social media, I mean, on my social media business page or on Instagram, but it's mine, just my page, I would just say to click on the link. Either give them the link there and they can click on the link, and that link's going to take them through to the registration page or the opt-in page where they put their name and the email in, and it will automatically then download. So that's that whole funnel there. It's only when I'm in a Facebook page in a Facebook group where I would do that comment thing, like comment, you know, health below, so that the algorithm will work to show it to more people. But if it's just a normal post, or you're doing a story and you're talking about something specific, then I always say, so I've actually created a free download for female entrepreneurs, a mantra that you can actually print out and put in front of your desk on your wall to remind yourself how awesome you are every day. If you want to download that, head over to maurenbarnard.com/mantra and leave it. Like, that is how I will actually give them the link. I will put it in the caption. The caption, guys, is the piece that you write above the post. I will put it in there. Then I put the link in straight. Because then as people come, and when you've got a sensitive subject, maybe that's a good idea, is to actually just put the link in there as well. Because then people will be more willing to click on that link, put in their details, even if they put in a fake name, which they probably do, but the email address has to be right, because otherwise they can't get the download. And it's really just the email address that you're interested in, just because it's a sensitive subject. I'm just thinking what I would be doing if I was in that situation. And these are all the things that I would do. So yeah, maybe just think of, in your situation, if it is very sensitive, to just put the link out there so that people can download it. All right. Any other questions? Wow, everyone knows what they're doing.
Maren,
Yes, who am I talking to?
Lisa,
Oh, hi, Lisa.
how are you guys?
I'm good,
Sorry,
thanks.
I came in very late due to load shedding.
That's okay.
Okay. I don't know if you can, probably Stephen will remember better because I spoke more with him about it. We did the post you put out to get reaction on my essential oils that I'm doing a workshop,
Yeah.
and we got no reaction there. And
Okay.
I think it's also because I neglected my page a bit in terms of not posting regularly. So me and him sort of agreed that the more low-hanging fruits is to do an ebook maybe on my makeup, because I've got the material already there. It's basically just to convert it into an ebook. And then also end of next month, I've got a ladies' tea where I'm doing a makeup demonstration, where I was thinking of also sort of launching it. And it's actually middle August, launching it, and then also giving a launch special. Now, with all of this said, I've chatted with clients in the salon, telling them I'm in the process of doing an ebook. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in the process of doing an ebook, and everybody's very positive about it. Now, basically, two questions: is it still necessary to do a validation post for the ebook? And then the other question is always, I know also on one of the posts you mentioned to me, your first price isn't always your best price or your long-term price.
Yep.
How do one decide on a price? Because that's now also a difficult one for me. I tend to always think, because I've got not a poverty mindset, but think out of Platteland, this is too expensive, you can't charge this. And then on the other hand, I don't want to overprice it. I know you mentioned in some of your posts depends on the content, because then after I've launched it, I want to start advertising it nationally. As I know I've done a course on meta advertising with Facebook about a year ago, how to optimize and to use that also. So yeah, it's a mouthful.
Yes. So
Yep.
when it comes to the pricing, I get it. A lot of people say, oh, you should have an abundance mindset and charge lots of people. There's a lot of people out there that can afford and whatever. I think you've got to decide who is the market that you're going to serve, and then what can that market afford. Okay. So I know that if I go international now, I could probably triple all my prices. In fact, SOS, I could probably tenfold it. And I know that the lab, I can minimum double it, but probably triple it even more, because I'm probably charging about a third of what people overseas are charging. So I know that if I go international, I can easily charge more. However, and this was a testing ground for me as well, because I mean, obviously I was exposed to the international market, and I knew what the pricing was like that, just in general in my arena. And when I got here, I realized that it's just not going to work. I just cannot charge the prices that I can charge overseas. I cannot charge that here. Yes, I would probably get some people, but then I've also got to decide, for me, it was more about impact than just getting 100 clients, charging them 50,000 Rand, and then there, I've got it. I could have gone that route. However, my choice was to go the route where I can impact more people. So I think that's something you've got to decide, is like, okay, who are the people that you want to impact? Who are the people that you want to help? And then what are their income levels? Where is it going to be comfortable? That you could test. So you could, I mean, I'm just going to pull numbers here now, because I don't know any idea what you charge for those things. But, like whenever I do now, okay, I'll tell you right now, I'm actually going to be doing a validation post in the next week myself, because Stephen and I've been talking a lot, and we want to start educating more people about AI. So AI is a huge thing at the moment. we've been using it in our business quite extensively for quite some time.
Yeah, I've also used it.
Yeah,
It's
and
very
we-
powerful.
and it's an amazing tool to have. So I'm going to be doing a validation post to find out who is interested in it, and I'm going to charge. It's going to be a workshop, and I'm going to be charging for it. Now, I've been thinking, okay, now what do I charge? Because I can easily charge 1,000 Rand for it, because it is so valuable and it is going to save someone so much money. But then I'm thinking, okay, but who are the people that are coming into my world? A huge part, so I'm thinking SOS more. So a huge part of the amount of people that are coming into my world are not people that's going to be able to afford 1,000 Rand just for one workshop. Right. So now I've got to go down and say, okay, well, where's that balance? Well, I'm not going to charge 99 Rand, because this is not just, I don't want someone to just buy it. And like a lot of people that buy SOS don't even go into it. Like I can check where my system shows me exactly what people have watched. A lot of people have watched 0. So then it's not important enough. They haven't spent enough money to actually make it valuable for them. They don't understand how valuable it is. So I've got to find that middle ground now on that. They're not just going to pay for it and then not show up and not even see the training, but it mustn't be so expensive that no one buys it. You know what I'm saying? So you've got to feel that. And when you know your market, you'll get to a thing. I've been thinking maybe 250 Rand. Is that going to be right or not? I don't know until I try it. So that's probably where I'm going to start. And I might have an early bird as well. And then I'll just see, I'll gauge it. And then maybe I'll run it again. Like this time it's like a trial, see what happens. And then I'll try it again, say in, a month or two's time. And based on my figures that I'll get back from this first one, I'll then adjust if need be. Maybe I don't have to. Maybe it's the perfect one. Who knows? But this is, I think, the thing that's so important to understand is that there's not a right and a wrong. In business, we need to test and test and test, test and measure, because we don't know. We can't read people's minds. And sometimes we're convinced that something will be such a hit, and then it just isn't. And sometimes it could just be the title of what you've written down, or it could just be the colors that put people off, or it could be something so small. And we've just got to change little things and test it again. And then when you say, okay, I'm still not getting a result, and you say, okay, maybe I should change, maybe I've got to completely change the title or the approach I'm doing. And then you put it out again and you test it. So I think that's one of the things, again, now what Leonie was saying, she feels like she's been rejected. It's not rejection, because I can tell you now, you've got to test and see what the responses that people have got and go. So I'm going to be doing it now in the next couple of weeks myself. So I'll keep you up to date. I'll let you guys know in the group, this is what I've done. This is the response I've gotten 0 response. So what I've done is I've changed this, because I know it's valuable. I know that the content's going to be unbelievably valuable to a lot of people, but I've got to somehow get my messaging right so that people can understand how valuable it is. So there's a lot that goes in. It's not just a question of, I'm quickly going to create something and I'm just going to put it out there and see if it works. That's why Stephen doing the psychology stuff and Stephen doing all this mindset stuff, listen to what he's saying all the time. Even though he's speaking to you ladies about your mindset, just remember that same mindset is what you need to project onto your customers. So you've got to think, what are they thinking? How are they reacting? If this was me, what would I be doing? If I was in their shoes, what would work for me? What is it that I want to hear if that was me? And you really have to think about that, because at the end of the day, 90%, if not more, of our purchases is emotional. Okay? There's very few things.
Very true.
Yeah, food is practical. There's things we need. We have to put in fuel, like you have to pay your mortgage. Like that stuff is practical stuff. But think about everything else that you do in life. It's emotional. It's based on emotions. So your messaging needs to hit those emotions. And that's what's going to get people to click on your thing. Babe, do you just want to add to that?
Yeah, Lisa, just a couple of things. You Northern Cape, eh? Somewhere like that.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. So I'm just going
Farm
to make
community.
so I'm just going to make assumptions here because I also come from a little farming community and I know the incomes, blah, 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 blah. So you can use that as just a little local test market, right? If you think about it, you go to a bookstore to buy a hard copy book, it's going to cost you roughly 300 Rand. So you know you can't sell your ebook for 300 Rand.
No.
Okay. No. So if it was me in that situation, I'm probably thinking 99 Rand. Most people, I think, would pull out 99 Rand. And what I'd be doing is you can use a limited time offer, scarcity offer, or urgency offer. So it's not like it's 99 Rand unlimited. So you're going to use one of those three things, you know, for the first 10 people or for the next 10 people or before Friday night, the price is 99 Rand because then you can gauge, you know, if you have suddenly 30 people within 5 minutes buying, then you know, well, 99 Rand is probably too cheap. But you've given yourself the option that this is not a permanent 99 Rand thing. So scarcity, urgency, or limited time offer. So use that as your way out because then you can say,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sorry to interrupt you with that.
Yep.
Ladies attending the tea.
Yep.
To launch it that Saturday and say, let's say for a week, we've got this super discounted special, as you say, limited time, and see what
so
happens.
Maybe for 99 Rand, the week is too long. Maybe it should be just for the day or for the next 24 hours or something like that.
Okay.
Because it should be 99 Rand for most people should be a no-brainer if there's something of value. Okay, so that's one way you can do it because then if you up the price next week, well, you've told them in advance that it was only for 48 hours. You told them it was limited, etc., limited edition. The other thing what you can do is you use that little market of yours for the feedback. Okay, so you could say, listen, ladies, it's a special for you on the day. It's 99 Rand for today, or as part of the work. I don't know, did you say you're charging for the workshop or was it a free workshop?
Yes, I'm charging 150 for the workshop because I've got a trainer coming in and there's food involved and a nice venue and the whole shebang.
Okay, so then you could make it, another option for you is instead of 150 for the workshop, it's 249 for the workshop, but that's going to include the ebook released for the first time on the day. But in return, you want to get feedback from those people because your ebook might now just be, say, 10 pages or 3 pages or 17 pages, or whatever it is. You ask them, you know, to give you feedback in the next week, which then will allow you to take some sections out or add more beef to it.
Okay.
You'll even during the course of your workshop that day, you know, maybe they're privy to the ebook. You can say, let's have a look at chapter 1. This is what we're discussing here now with the expert now. What's good, what's bad, what's ugly. You just take notes or video record what you need to do so that you know now you can put a little bit more meat on the bone. So when you release it next week or 2 weeks' time, then you know, look, 99 Rand, but now I've beefed it up. I can at least go to 149.
Okay.
Just giving an example. But just remember what you can buy a hard copy book for. So you've got to be at least, you know, half or less, I would have thought, in a hard copy. That was the one thing. The other thing you asked about the validation. So it depends again on your audience. Are you going to wait for feedback from that group? Or nothing stops you from validating to a different experimental group. You know, your email list. I know you said you've got quite a big audience of that. But
Yes.
again, like we mentioned to Leonie earlier on, it's quite, well, I find it difficult to sell if we haven't been nurturing along the way. So you hide in the closet for 6 months and you suddenly come out and say, yeah, buy my ebook. It's like, no, that's not such a good idea. Maybe what you need to do, if you haven't been active, and I know you haven't been active for a little while, is start making 2 or 3 posts a day. You know, instead of just blindly giving them the ebook or trying to sell something, the workshop, whatever, why don't you just commit now? You said mid-August launch. You say, you know what I'm going to do? This week, I'm going to do 1 post a day. Next week, I'm going to do 2 posts a day. Week after, 3 posts a day. And you build, everything's leading towards selling your workshop and your ebook. So all your posts are going to be around, a little video on how to put your makeup on, or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
DIYs, that type of thing.
Yeah, but start giving them a little bit of value so that they reconnect with you, so that in 2-3 weeks' time, when you suddenly put the 99 Rand offer, it's not, she hasn't just pitched up just to sell me something, she's actually given me something of value in between.
Babe,
So
can I
that's
just
what I've been
interrupt
doing
you?
with the oils too, because I wasn't a bit dormant with my essential oil side. So that's why I'm putting info out there before I revalidate the workshop for the essential oils.
Yeah, remember what you got to understand with online, and we get bombarded from all angles. So why must I come to Lisa? Because Lisa pitches up once a month and she's trying to sell me, versus Carol is in here every day, and today she told me how to remove my makeup. And then she told me that there's a special cloth that's not going to dirty my towels. And then she's come in and given me a free 3-day healthcare PDF. You know what I'm saying? Who are you going to go to? Who's going to be top of mind? So we've got to be in and around people and offering stuff of value 80-90% of the time. And then every now and again, you make the sale. But 90% of the time, you're giving them value, you're building up your expertise, the trust factor, the who do I go to factor. So top of mind, like, I need oils, Lisa. Or I need my makeup done, let's go to Lisa. But if you've been inactive, there's 1,000 other women just like you who I could go and spend my money with. So who am I going to go and spend my money with?
Okay, makes sense.
Lisa, can I just add to that? When you are putting out posts, see which of your posts that you've got, you can actually send as an email as well. Ladies, and this is for everybody, don't think especially when you've spent some time on putting together a really good post, take that exact same post and send it to your email list. Okay, the same content you just put there, you're obviously going to put it a little bit more in a letter form, in an email form, but it's the same content that you've put it on a post, you can go and put in an email and send out your email. Because exactly what Stephen's saying now, you want to start warming up that email list, not just your social media. Because remember, very few people that's on your email list is actually going to see your social media. So you can start warming up your email list by sending out emails, even now. If it's like, start off, be honest in the beginning. I often, when I haven't been good on my email, I would go out and say, I'm so sorry, life got in the way, whatever may be the thing, this is what's been happening, and I know that I've neglected you all, but I'm back and here I am. So to give you something, and the first thing I'll do is I'll give them something for free, something of value, like a freebie of some sort. Give it to them and say, over the next few weeks, I want to share with you a little bit more about ABC and what you can do. And you can actually write those emails in advance, so that you have, and then like every 2 or 3 days, just send it. Decide, I'm going to send out 2 a week, or I'm going to send out 3 a week, specifically because it's leading up to something. And then what you also want to do is you want to start saying to them, oh, I'm so excited. I'm busy creating something which I know is going to be of so much help to you. And then as soon as you're getting closer and closer to say, I am launching something so exciting, it's only 5 days away. And then it's only 3 days away. And then it's only 2 days away, because you're building up the excitement of what is coming. And people will start, reacting to that. Oh, what are you doing? Like, it's a surprise. I'm going to do it. Now, what I personally do when I do things like that is I create a wait list. Okay. So again, this exact same way that people will put their name and email again to get a free lead magnet, exact same way I do it, and I put them on a wait list. Let's just say now for this AI, for instance, then if I don't know, I would say, if you are interested, you can join the wait list here, and when I'm ready, I will let you know. You'll be the first to know when I'm launching it. Okay. So that way you're also collecting people's names and email addresses if you want to do it digitally. Alternatively, you can just ask people, but again, I don't think they'll always put their email addresses in there unless you're in a private group, but you can get people to just send their email address if they want to know what you're releasing. Or you can even tell them what you're doing, and if they're interested, to put their email addresses down. So that when that's ready, you've got a list of people's names that you can go and sell it to.
Okay. Just one quick other question is, I've got now Lisa Verveer's makeup artistry, where I put all my work on and tips and things. But then I've got a page called Beauty and Body, which has nearly 3 times the following. but my salon is beauty and body. So, I mean, I offer makeup also in the salon. Do I just mainly advertise on my Lisa Verveer, where at this stage, beauty and body is more, I put daily, literally daily. We get content from our skincare companies also. So it's easy to have content. It's more skincare, more treatment-wise. But would you cross-pollinate towards beauty and body too, or not really?
It's exactly the same as what I said to Leonie. You know, I just think it's extra work. The minute you start having extra pages with extra things, because I can't see why makeup, I would go, I mean, you go to a beauty salon to do makeup, to do skincare, to do facials, to do massages, you know, all those things fall under, like, just think of your beauty salon. So I think it all falls under the same umbrella. Just like Leonie, you know, you just got different things under your umbrella. So I would keep it all on one page. If you say you're already getting content from your skincare people, which makes it easy, then what you focus on creating on your own is maybe the makeup things, you know, or you can even go through stages where you say, this week I'm doing a 5-day tips on how to do makeup for XYZ. And then you especially every day you're going to post something, you know, another post about it, almost like a, you know, like a little series of something specific. So I would definitely keep it all under the same page, just because I know how much work it can become if you start having different pages for different things. And your thing, well, even the oils, because if you think about it, I mean, you're still under the health and beauty umbrella. Okay, so again, it will be.
I've got 4 pages, and it's crazy to have content for every page every day.
Absolutely. So I think, I mean, maybe just where this is going to become important is like when let's just say that you create a lead magnet on essential oils, is to make sure that you have a tag on that specific download that says essential oils, so that when you're sending out emails that you can, and it's specifically something about essential oils, that you can just send it to the people that's got the essential oil tag on their name. Okay, because the makeup person...
That I've got in Gmail already. I've got groups in Gmail.
And that's more important, that the right people are getting the right emails, as opposed to having it all under the same umbrella. Just be careful with the essential oils. I think for me, being a network marketer myself, I can spot a network marketer a mile away, just because it is so predictable. So what I want to see from you when you use essential oils is show me how you use it. Do not post a freaking photo of another bottle of essential oil. Like, show me how.
I rarely do it. I'm more on the DIY blends, photos of the house with the diffuser on, that type of thing.
That's what I want to see. Exactly that. Because even if I'm not an essential oil person, and suddenly, I mean, it's freezing and people are getting colds and whatever, and you can say to me, this is the best little thing. I've just have a couple of drops of this. It helps us clear our blocked noses, or whatever the case, or put it on your feet, or whatever the case may be. Like that, you are educating me. You're not just showing me a bottle of essential oils and now I've got to figure out how do I use it.
So I don't do that approach at all.
Okay, so that's perfect. So when you are educating, of course, I reckon that's the same thing. You're still under that beauty and health umbrella, and it's just a separate thing that you are doing. So just make sure that it all blends together. Make sure that your branding covers everything. Like it doesn't, even if it is the essential oils, just make sure that it's cohesive, that what you are posting is kind of, you know what I'm saying, that it all looks as part of the same thing. I think that's the important thing. Yeah.
Because it will make it a lot easier, because I've got already a beauty and body webpage also. So I think in the end, if I can slowly transition everything into that, in the long run, it will be easier for me then to create content for 4 pages.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, look at my stuff, because SOS and Funnels and Digital Lab they actually such completely separate things. But because it's under the same umbrella, and because I speak about I talk about the different things all the time, but kind of as an online business. In your
Mm.
online business, you need to get your messaging right, and you can create a digital product, and you can have a list building funnel, and it's all these different things, but it all falls under the same umbrella of creating an online business, if you know what I mean.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Would you
Can I
close
just
those
ask
other pages?
Lisa, Lisa, I just want to ask you one quick one.
Mm.
That you said your company provides you with material. So are you sharing that company material straight onto your page?
We get the photo with a suggested post. Say, for instance, this is a moisturizer for dry skin because it's dry skin month. They have like themes, and then I would custom the what I'm writing with it and the hashtags myself.
And does it come with a company logo and all that sort of stuff?
You see, the company is called Theravine, now not to advertise, and very rarely on the image itself is a logo.
Oh, okay. No, because I was just going to say, instead of, because what a lot of people do is they share the company stuff onto their own thing. Basically, basically what you're doing is you're promoting the company. So
now I'm physically taking and uploading it to my Facebook page,
yeah,
and scheduling at different times, and also towards my Instagram page. So it's a post I physically create myself.
no, perfect. Yeah, like 99, as you would know, 99% of people would in that industry are sharing straight from the company with the company logo.
No, the algorithm then doesn't work for you.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. Personalize it.
Lisa, but closing the other pages, I mean, just leave them there for now. I mean, and see how it goes once, you know, just putting all the content on one page. And then if you see after 3 or 6 months, okay, this is working much better, then you can just close them down.
Okay.
Like people are not going to specifically going to go and look for, I mean, no one go and looks for a business page unless you're specifically interested in something. So don't worry about them being there. You can always later, you can go and close them down.
Okay. Great. Thanks so much.
Pleasure. All right. Any other questions?
Maren, I want to ask something about the workshop.
Sure.
That workshop you want to ask 99 Rand or 200 Rand, is that a once-off, one day, and how long? And does it lead to something else?
Okay. So I haven't thought about the whole thing because Stephen, I literally started talking about it last night. Or was it this morning? I can't remember. I think this morning. It will be a once-off. I will probably record it. In fact, I will definitely record it. And I will then probably use it as a separate product and just sell it as a separate product. That's kind of what I've got an idea. It's not so much for me about an upsell, because now I remember once someone has joined my email list, they have to join my email list in order to come to the workshop, okay? Because they've got to register and pay, etc. So now I've got the email list. So now they're in my world. So I can now start sending them emails. They're going to find out organically, they're going to start finding out about SOS, about funnels, about the lab, because I'm talking about it all the time. So I don't actually, in this specific instance, we haven't decided yet if we're going to do it an upsell to something, but I will, regardless whether I sell it, do an upsell to one of my memberships, I will definitely record it as a single standing product that I can then either run ads to, or when people are talking about it and they're struggling with content creation or whatever, I'm going to say, listen, I've done this training on AI. I haven't even got a name for it yet. Whatever it is, and then I can just say, you can go and buy it for whatever price. It'll teach you all about how to create content. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll use it as a tool also in my everyday talk when I do reels or when I send out emails or whatever. So if you want to learn more about it, you can go and download, or you can go and purchase my ABC on AI on how to do that.
Okay, now how long will that be? An hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, probably an hour. Like I don't think it all depends. Because the way I'm thinking that I'm going to do it is it's going to be a very hands-on thing. I'm thinking of opening the AI and explaining to them how to create content, how to use it to create lead magnets, how to create whatever it is that you want to create. So it's going to take a bit of time because I'm actually going to be typing and then it's going to come out and I'm going to copy and paste it. And like it's going to take some time. So it's not like a slideshow I'm going to be doing. I think I'm actually going to do a live. This might change. I'm just saying, but so it might take a little bit longer, but the idea is that, yeah, like an hour, 2 hours, whatever, something like that. However long it takes me to get the message across.
Thanks, because yeah, I'm thinking for sport coaches, if I have to do a workshop, I just want to know how you do it and the pricing and that. Yeah, so thanks, that helps
So
me a lot.
I've done a lot of different workshops. Actually, Passion to Profit, that 3-day workshop I did the other day, I've actually done that before, as it wasn't as in depth, but I've done that as a paid workshop before. And I think that I did it over 2 evenings. It was 2 nights that I did it. So people paid me, and I did it over 2 nights. I think I charged 150 Rand for it. And I had 50 people that joined me on that workshop. And that workshop, I remember, I think it was 2021 I did it. And that was an upsell to, which was then KYOB, Kickstart Your Online Business. It was an upsell to that. So yeah, I mean, it just depends what you want to do, but you can definitely, it depends if you're doing a workshop as a standalone. If it's a standalone workshop that you're not doing an upsell to anything, I don't know, you can charge anything from 250 up to 1,000 Rand, depending on, even more, depending on the content and who it's for and how much benefit it is for someone. If it's an upsell to something more, what I normally do then with a workshop is, like you guys know now with a 3-day, I tell them what, like the things you need to do, but I don't go into depth. I don't go, in detail, because that's the upsell. The upsell is then going to the Digital Product Lab where you're going to learn all the nitty gritty. So it just depends what you are doing. If you may be doing something specifically on how to deal with injuries, it might be that whole thing that you put all the content you have, you're just putting in this one workshop on injuries. Then just a flat rate, charge what you want to. And remember that because you're recording it, that's why it's so good to do it on Zoom, because you can record it and then you can sell it. But after that, you can continue to sell it over and over. You can put it on your website and you label it as whatever it is, and it can constantly sell it. You don't have to do a new workshop if you don't want to. Like the next time I do Digital Lab, probably in October, that I'll promote that, I'm going to use the exact same 3-day recordings that I did for this last one. I'm going to use the exact same thing. All I have to edit out is the when I started promoting the lab. So because it's going to be this was a one-off, it was the only time I was going to offer this 12-month coaching and the bonuses and everything that was with it. So it's just that last bit I have to re-record and edit. But for the other 2.5 days, I'm going to use exactly the same so that I don't have to do the work again. So I think that's something we've got to keep in mind when we are creating, whether you're writing an ebook or course. Sometimes you think, oh, I really should be charging like so much because there's so much value in this. But remember, it's about selling it over and over and over again, and you don't have to do the work again. I think you've got to keep reminding yourself that, because some days I'm thinking like SOS, I'm thinking seriously, like $99. I said, Stephen, is it even worth it? But then you start looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, well, we've got like over 300 members there at 99 Rand. That's like 30, am I right? What is that, babe? How much is that?
30,000.
Yeah, it's like 30,000 Rand a month. Of course it's worth it. And I want to grow that to 1,000, to 2,000, to 5,000 people a month. And then once I do that, times it by 100, it's a shitload of money. Even though I'm thinking I should be selling that for 1,000 Rand because there's so much content, good content in there. But you've got to think about, like, you're selling it over and over, and you're going to get income from it for years to come, but you did the work only once. And yes, doing that initial work takes a lot of time. I think that's why often we feel, oh my word, like it's so much work and I'm only going to be selling it for so much. But just remember, it's like something you're going to be selling for year after year after year. And the more you promote it and market it, the more sales you're going to get. So you only have to do the work once and you can sell it over and over. So keep that in mind when you're pricing your stuff. Even though I know we want to price our stuff a lot more, we're going to get a lot more sales if it's in a comfortable zone of someone being able to afford it. Oh, and there
I'll
was
just add
lights.
there, Doc.
Yeah.
So just while we're on the subject of lead magnets, so remember, lead magnet can be a freebie, 1-page PDF, 7-page PDF, 27-page PDF. It can be a small ebook, a fat ebook, a thin ebook. It can be a quiz. Maren can look at this little workshop also as a lead magnet. Even though you're charging for the workshop, this can be considered a lead magnet, because whoever buys it is possibly very interested in online something. So you're attracting those people in, and you're using the workshop as your lead magnet. So remember, your little mini course, your little YouTube videos, paid workshop, a free workshop, a 1-page PDF, the 30 mantras Maren said, they can all be considered lead magnets. Does that make sense? That's the first thing. So just to give you an idea, Beb, the other day I paid 150 Rand for a 7-page PDF lead magnet. Now the 7 pages could probably have been condensed into a page and a half, because they used nice wide spacing and fat letters. All right, but the information in there was extremely valuable. So even though it was only 7 pages, which could have been like 2 pages, the information was worth me paying the 150 Rand for that. And then the last thing was, if you look in the digital lab, somebody, I think it was Marianne, asked me the other day about the length of the ebooks. So if you just go to have a look in there, depending on how technical and how sophisticated your audience is, and how valuable that information, the price can go up. So you can sell your workshop, if it's how to paint your toenails, probably sell it for 99 Rand. But if the same workshop is on how to do brain surgery from the comfort of your home, you probably can sell it for a lot more than 99 Rand. But just have a look in the, I'll try and find it and I'll tag you in there. But basically it just gives you different levels of sophistication, and the price has to go up. I think Yvette had a question.
Yeah,
Dom.
Yvette, you had a question? I also saw your hand was up. Just unmute yourself.
Morning, Maren. Morning, Stephen. Morning, every lady.
How are you?
Morning, morning.
I'm good, thanks.
Good, good. How can we help?
My question is, because I'm new and I need to set up my Facebook page, my website. You just finished help me with my lead magnet. I'm still getting used to Canva also, all this practice with the lead magnet. I'm getting there. I need to make a post to advertise myself now. I would like advice. Is there a platform in the library where I can go have a look how to create a Facebook post for my business? And what advice can you give me regarding that? Because I don't think I'm ready actually to launch anything. There's so much that I need to learn first. Getting to know a lead magnet, how to put everything together, color schemes, etc. Like I've been playing around in Canva now. I'm trying to make a Facebook post where I can post my business. I had a look at your how you do yours, business coach. Then you've got all your funnels and your business all in one page, like to say, and that is where I'm at now. Where do I go? Is there some place in the library where I can go have a look? Do you go into templates? I've also discovered there's photos now in Canva. At first I didn't know that, but anyway, I'm playing around.
Yeah.
And
So,
yes.
So Yvette, have you created a Facebook business page yet?
Yes, what I did was, my previous one was about my plants. But then I deleted everything about my plants, and I've renamed it Empowered. And I've been busy posting encouragement memes in it and so forth. Also myself, just putting myself out there, etc., etc. My website actually was also based on my plants. That I'm also busy figuring out
Okay.
how to convert it now all to my website. It's just I can't change the website because I bought it for a year and it's under Fetilicious. So
Okay.
Fetilicious was the name of my plant business. Fet
Okay.
Planted.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's
I
the
was
only
wondering
thing
what
that I
I
can't
was
change.
wondering why you had that website down there. Okay.
Yes.
Look, I think that the best way, and this is again, this is for everybody. Most of us are doing what we're doing because we have a story behind it. Okay. We are 99% of the time, we resemble our ideal customer. Okay, because we struggled with something, we we had a pain point, whatever it might be, and now we want to help others doing the same thing. So one of the best ways to share your business is to share your story. If you think about it, and this is, I'm not saying share your story in a half an hour video. Okay, start with little bits. Just do one of, like, again, it's thinking of what are the pain points of my ideal customer, and then you just start sharing. Look at my reels. Like I'm always saying, like one of the biggest mistakes I ever made was not building my email list faster. Why? Because I never realized that the base, the foundation of my business is going to rely on my email list, that 90% of my sales are going to come from my email list. And that's what I'm talking about. So I'm kind of sharing my mistakes that I made with it. But now I'm trying to tell people that they need to do it. You might be start with something that said, I always thought I had a really good marriage. I never realized that actually I was in this marriage that was abusive. And because it was not the normal type of abuse, I just thought this is how it is. And then you talk about, and then you can have different videos on different things. Your 5 things that you were talking about in your lead magnet, like each of those could be a video. And then every time you relate it back to your story. You know what I'm saying? So you can, and by putting out that type of content, you are now, and then you can take that content and you can actually share that content in that Facebook group that you were talking about, that is just got ladies in that's in similar situation.
Now that is why I'm asking you, yes, because it's like they give you an opportunity twice a month. They give you their page and you can advertise your business on that page. So I don't have anything like to advertise, you know what I mean?
Just talk.
And that's why I thought.
Remember, when you share your story, and this is the beauty of what you can do, is because you don't even have to advertise your business. Again, ladies, this is for everyone. You don't have to advertise your business. You can actually go into any group at any time and you can just give free value. Okay? But make sure that you do not talk about your business. You do not talk about anything that is pushing them so that it looks like you. You can just say I would love to know how many ladies in this group, or can any of you in this group relate to the following? And your 5 factors again, do. I've just realized that my husband passed away a couple of years ago, and I never realized until he passed away that I was in a whatever situation, etc., etc. Is there anyone else in this group that can relate to that? And that's it. You see, so I'm not saying I've got a free download. I'm not saying anything. But what happens now? Now, because you've put out that content and I say, oh, jeepers, that's exactly like me. Like I recognize these things. This is what's happening in my marriage. Oh, maybe I'm in that. I wonder who this Yvette girl is. What do? I go click on your page, on your profile. Now, remember, that's why for you now in the beginning, I would put some of this content on your personal profile as well, because people are going to click on your profile and you'll probably find that they will reach out to you. They will reach out to you in private. You don't have to, because again, it's what we're talking about. This is a sensitive subject, okay? And not everybody wants to admit that they're in this situation. So again, it's much better to actually just talk about something, one of those pain points, one of those issues, and just say, is there anyone else in this group that can relate to this? And the more you start putting out content with no strings attached, don't send them to a lead magnet, don't send them to your page, don't send them to anything, just ask a question. Then people are going to answer, or they're going to say, oh my word, this is me. And they're going to click on your name and they're going to say, hi, Yvette. I saw your post in the ABC group and I didn't want to answer there, but oh my word, exactly what you say, that is what's happening to me. Now you can start having a one-on-one conversation with her, just a genuine conversation, whatever. And then you can just say, look, once you've chatted, sometimes this happens over 2-3 days that you go forth and back. And then you can say to Lord, look, if you're interested, I do coaching for women just like you. If you're interested, let me know and I'll send you some details. Again, no, like pushing, because if someone is really interested, they will reach out. So I would say just start creating content around, even if it's content around those 5 things in your lead magnet, start creating that content, just short 3 to 5 minute videos. Even shorter. The shorter, the better, because people don't have time. And just talk about things and bring your story into it the whole time, because it makes you relatable. The minute you say how all the things that you were feeling, all the things that you were going through and not realizing, like, this is what's going to make them relatable to you. Okay.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to give that a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot. And again, like I said earlier on, it's test and measure. Like there's no right or wrong. You've just got to try it. Okay.
Yvette, I'll just send you,
Oh.
there's just if you look in the text thing there, I'm just saying, go and optimize your social media. So your I help statement, remember we worked on, you can put that in your
That's
bio.
right, in the bio. I looked at the Facebook in the library yesterday. I watched the social pages of Maren, yes, and how the social page must look, etc.
Optimizing
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yes, so I'm busy with that. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Okay, so when people see your little video that you're going to post in the group or whatever you're going to say, like now I've just quickly gone onto your Facebook here just to have a look.
But which one did you go on? That is
No.
just my normal one. I've got another one, Empowered.
Yeah, but most people probably go to your name first because they wouldn't know to go to Empowered. So they'll go to your personal profile
I
first.
see. I don't post so much there. I use the other one.
So just
Okay.
on your personal one, just go and put in there in your bio your I help. So if somebody lands there, they can see I help.
Okay, I must change both. Okay.
And change
you.
your cover photo
Okay, I'll do that as well, yeah.
to something like, even if it's like that photo that we use right at the last photo of your lead magnet where the ladies are standing
Yes.
together.
Of the ladies, yes.
Use something like that and say something like something to do with a sisterhood, or together we can do, like, you don't have to promote your business as such. If you go and look at mine, you'll see mine is my laptop standing on my kitchen bench, and it's opened on selling on social. So
That's
I'm not
right.
like, it's not like buy selling on social here, and it's not like a whole thingy. It's a very subtle way of doing it. And that's what you want to do on your personal profile. You want to do it in a subtle way where just your thing is all about empowering women. So like put all the bunch of women, I think it'll be really nice, and just put something like a sisterhood, or together we can make change, or like together we're stronger, or something like that. That's all you
Always
need to
remember
do.
you are worthy. Yes.
Yeah. And then make sure that in your bio that you edit the
I'm going to
where
edit that one also.
where you work, where it says work, that's actually where you put your link for your business page. So that then people can go and have a look there. All right.
Thank you so much.
And just make some posts in there. So last one was the 28th of May.
Yeah. I
Okay.
see.
All right. Before we go, Bongi. Bongi, just unmute yourself.
Okay. I wasn't aware that I was not.
How can we help you
Yes,
today?
Yo, no, I just wanted to give a feedback. You know, I've done my things a whole lot of vice versa and upside down rather than the usual traditional way. So where I am at right now, I finished with my mini course, and it is already on TikTok, and slow because I only got one sale, but
That's
I
good.
just did it and I dumped it there because I have to still work on a whole lot of things, and I'm trying to catch up with how things are supposed to be done.
Okay.
So in using it as a lead magnet, I couldn't do that because somehow the system in TikTok did not allow me. So I had to now create an ebook that goes together with the mini course and use that as a lead magnet. Now, what happened is that people are downloading the ebook, but they are not going there to buy. So I don't know how to make follow up nicely, because what I did when in my TikTok, I have a Google form. I explained to them because I had not yet automated my MailChimp account. So I had a Google form there that they are filling in. Then I would literally download their emails and transfer them to my MailChimp. Then now I will send them an email, then they will use it to download.
Okay.
In that, I did that last week.
Yeah.
And I've got when I checked, because I left it 2 days, then I went to check. So when I checked, I found that there were 24 people who
Downloaded.
registered their names. Yes. And then because I was not confident with with how, because I thought of, okay, instead of me just sending it as a PDF, let me try to do a landing page, or something like that. So while doing that, I delayed, and then instead of me sending them immediately, but although I had told them, I now sent it 2 days after. So the clicks were not that good. People who downloaded the first one, they were, because there were 24 people, then about 16 people didn't download. So I had to resend. So I resent it. Then when I resent, out of the 16 people, only 9 downloaded. And then a few of them, they did give me like a reply, thank you reply and things like that. And the ones who indicated that they were interested, they didn't have money, to buy the mini course. So I also had to tell them that, okay, fine, on the side, I will just take you, but you mustn't tell other ladies. So I got 3 ladies whom are on the course without payment.
Okay, so hang on. Let's stop there. Okay, so first of all, you have got to change your approach. You cannot give people your stuff for free. Okay, you're not, unless you are testing the market, unless you are testing your course and you are giving it to people so that you can see how it's flowing, whether it's working. They've got to give you feedback. Unless you're trialing it, that's absolutely fine to give it to people for free. But you're not going to build a business if you're giving your course away or your digital product away for free because you're not selling. Sales online is a numbers game. Okay. So just to give you an idea, when I did Passion to Profit, 1,380 people registered for it. Okay. Day 1, 1,000 people watched the first video. About 620 people odd watched day 2, and about 400 odd people watched day 3. And of the original 1,380 people, 40 people bought my product. Okay, it's a numbers game. If you think I started 1,380 and only 40 people, after so many people watched the training, only 40 people bought. Okay, so you've got to start realizing that it's a numbers game. Okay, if you're going to just get 24 people, if you get one sale, which you said you did, that's perfect, because only 24 people downloaded your lead magnet. So you shouldn't expect to get more than one sale. When you have 100 people, you should get about 4 or 5 people that buy your product. If you get 500 people, maybe about 10 people will buy your product. It's a numbers game. So I wouldn't start giving my content away for free unless, like I said, you are trying to get feedback of your course, and you, in exchange, they have to give you feedback and they have to give you testimonials for the work they're doing. Because the problem is, what happens is, because people haven't paid for it, they haven't got skin in the game. So now then you've got training that you want to go through, and then they're like, oh yeah, all right, I'll go today, but I'm not really in the mood. I mean, I didn't pay for it, so I've got nothing to lose. You know, like there's no urgency to it, and they don't take it serious. So, and also the other thing I want to say is, just be careful of using TikTok or any social media platform for that matter to host your courses and host things like that. Because if that platform goes down and that platform disappears, or they ban you from your account, you lose access to all that stuff. That is why we work on our own websites, and why we create our own list building, our own email addresses. You create your own platforms that you own, that you've got control over, and send them to that. I would be very nervous about using a social media platform to host my products on, because like I said, you don't know when they're ever going to throw you off. So I think what you need to do is you just need to get your product out there more, like put your lead magnet rather on TikTok, and let people download the lead magnet. And then the key is to have the nurture sequence. So go and have a look at the email nurture sequence that you then need to do, because it's exactly like I did the workshop. And remember, for the 4, 5, 6 days after the workshop, I send out emails where I then said, look, your next step is to join the Digital Product Lab. Your next step is to join the Digital Product Lab. And now you've got to send emails out that will automatically, we call it the email sequence. So it's your post email sequence. They've downloaded the free lead magnet, and now you invite them to come and do your course. Again, it's a numbers game. I mean, I've had probably, of my lead magnets, well, I know I've had 6,000 people download my lead magnets, because that's the size of my list. But as in customers, I probably only have maybe, which a lot of them is SOS, but I probably have about 550 customers, okay, of the 6,000 people that's downloaded my lead magnets. So it's a numbers game. You've just got to keep on getting your lead magnet out there, and the right people. Again, it's your messaging. Make sure that your messaging is right, so that you can start attracting the right people that will pay you for your product. Okay.
Okay.
You will
Can I
get
add in
there.
there,
Also
Dor?
work on the fear to charge, because sometimes that fear to charge, it also, I understand. Thank you so much.
Don't be scared to charge. There's 60 million people, 65 million people in this country. There are people that will pay you. Trust me.
Thank you, ma.
Just
Yes,
add a
ma'am.
couple of things in there. Bongi, first of all, well done. One sale is not to be scoffed at, eh?
No.
One sale out of
Thank you.
24, that's what, 4%? Is it?
Thank you.
Right, so well done on that. Remember, if one person bought, you should maybe send them an email personally, privately, and
Okay.
get some feedback from them. Why did you buy? What was it about my post that you like? Are you enjoying the course? Get a little bit of feedback from that one person, so that you can use that information and then duplicate that. That's the first thing. The other thing is, I'd be quite interested to have a look at your lead magnet and your ebook. If you feel
Okay, sir. Okay.
sharing it with us, we will gladly have a look at it. And then the
Yes,
other
sir.
thing is, Maren touched on there, was your messaging. So it's very important when you're posting in that. If you've got a high-end product, I don't know what your product costs, but the way you're messaging and the way you're speaking to people is going to influence the end outcome. And you know, the whole time I say you want to repel people, polarize people, or filter people. And the easiest way to filter people is to make them know upfront there's going to be exchange of money at some point. So you can filter,
Yeah. That's exactly what I do.
you want to filter people out very, very quickly that are just there for freebies, because there's a hell of a lot of freebie seekers. People just want free information. So you want to get rid of them as quickly as possible. You know, if they're private messaging you, you just make it clear. Listen, if you want a one-on-one consulting with me, it's going to cost you. And then they're either going to come back or they're going to disappear. So it's the way you projecting yourself and portraying yourself, and the way what the information you're putting out there will attract a certain group of people. And if you find you're getting freebie seekers the whole time, then you need to change your language and change your messaging.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. It's fine. I was scared to even send to the group. I will send the lead magnet, and then I will also send the course. I will email the course, the links to the course.
Yeah, look, if you want to do it privately, that's fine. But if you want to do it in the group so people can have a look and learn from it, that's totally up to you. I'm not going to tell you what you must do. But
Okay.
for anybody, if you've got anything that you want to just put out there before you make it public, just feel free to send it in there and let's have a look at it.
Okay, thank you so much. I have to go. I have a live now.
No, that's all
Thank you
good.
so much.
Good
Thank
luck.
you, everybody.
Good
Thanks,
luck.
Bungi. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, and also, Ma, thank you. I've also learned from my mistakes I did with the issue of the course, because in my mind, it's fine. Okay, thank you.
All good. All good.
Okay, thank you, Ma.
All right, Bungi. Okay, ladies, are there any other questions? Well, then I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. This was a long call. So, yeah, but if you've got any questions, like always, we in the Facebook groups, there's SOS for any social media branding stuff, funnels and webinars for your lead magnets, things like that, and then for everything else, the lab. So just make sure that you ask us any questions you have. Yeah, if you're struggling with something, please don't sit at home and let it brew. Just come in here and ask the question, because if you've got that question, more than likely someone else has got that question as well. So, but we wish you all the best, and I can't wait to see what you guys are all creating. Hope we all get a bit warmer over the next few days. But yeah, enjoy yourself and have a great week. Thanks, guys. It's a big pleasure. Bye.